Save $1 on fresh country-style pork ribs, just $3.79 per pound. Whole red, ripe, seedless watermelons, $12.99 each. Select varieties of Friendly's dessert ice cream cups, only $3.49 for an 8.5-ounce tub. Save $3 on select varieties of Crystal Light drink mix, $5.69 for a 1.4-ounce package. 12-pack refreshing LaCroix sparkling water, only $8.99 for select varieties. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, July 16, 2019. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us. A sentence of life imprisonment handed down today in the Supreme Court to 22-year-old Kiari Tucker. Tucker shot and killed 35-year-old father Moreland Steed in the Deepdale area in 2017. Jasmine Patterson was in the courtroom and filed this report.
For Tommy! Yes, I! Justice is done! And you think it's not, it's done!
The scene here is 22-year-old Kiari Tucker is about to be loaded into a van to be taken away to Westgate Prison Facility for at least the next 35 years. Tucker was unanimously found guilty by a jury last month for the unlawful murder of Moreland Steed on the 2nd of November 2017 and the unlawful use of a firearm and committing that offense. Prosecutors say a substantial degree of premeditation went into the murder. Tucker deliberately went into the Court Street area early to hunt for the victim. Tucker stalked and sprung a surprise attack on Steed in the Deepdale area here in Pembroke, an attack caught on CCTV cameras. Mr. Steed was chased down and shot 4 times in the arm and back. He died in hospital. Later, police officers found the defendant hiding in a pile of clothing at his godmother's house, but the gun was never recovered. Tucker was on parole when he carried out the shooting and has shown no remorse. They say he's not of good character, having served several prison terms for offenses involving violence since 2011. Family wrote in a victim impact statement that Mr. Steed is such a big miss in our hearts. Defense lawyer Susan Mulligan, however, argued there are no statistics presently available which are able to speak to whether or not there is a rise in gun-related murders. No evidence that Tucker was a gang member. Before hearing his fate, Tucker read an impassioned letter to the court speaking to the injustice he has suffered, waiting for this, quote, nightmare to end. He accused prosecutors of lying and manipulating the truth. He added, quote, the killer is still out there. All of you failed me, even my lawyer. My life is over. Justice Graves said there was compelling video evidence and analysis to prove Tucker was the killer. Furthermore, he said the components of gunshot residue are by far the most found on an accused out of all the murder cases involving firearms the court has seen in the past 15 years. Despite the defendant's claim that he's an innocent man and despite his efforts to mislead the family and friends and others, he said he somehow was wrongly convicted. I think the defendant, he adds, should take his responsibility. This was a senseless and heinous attack imposing serious threat on the safety of civilians. Tucker was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 25 years behind bars before being considered eligible for parole and 10 years to run consecutively for the gun charge.
And that was Jasmine Patterson reporting. In other news, police this evening are investigating a traffic incident involving one of their own that was captured on videotape. The shocking footage, which was shared to social media, has attracted nearly 100 comments. As TriTrot reports, the incident has sparked a debate about what you should do when you see a police officer directing traffic.
The dramatic footage was captured on videotape by a car dash cam by a member of the public, and it appears the incident happened on Monday just after 3 p.m. on South Road in Devonshire. Traffic appears to be coming to a stop due to police activity up ahead when this motorcycle rider decides to overtake the line of traffic and continue on his way. Words appear to be exchanged between the police officer and the rider before this happens. The police officer is shown pushing the motorcyclist, who then slams into a wall before riding away. Moments later, the officer is seen walking away with another police officer on a motorcycle seen speeding down the street. The footage was posted to the Facebook group Bad Driving Bermuda on Monday night. The video generating a mix of comments from other Facebook users. Some write messages of support for the actions of the police officer, such as this poster who writes, "Hope they catch him," in reference to the rider who sped off. And this remark, stating, should have listened to the police officer, no excuses. Had he done what the police officer told him to do, he would never have been shoved. Others were critical of the police officer's actions. One man comments, what did he do wrong for the police to hit him? Another person quips, him? You saw what the police did? Why push him like that? Prompting another resident to reply, because the rider was an idiot. OMG, did you not see what he did? Other commenters join in on the police criticism. One woman writes in reply to others, I am with you. That cop was out of order. It is not clear what words were exchanged between the officer and the rider. Some users interpret the footage to conclude that the officer had instructed the rider to pull over, to which the rider refused, and the police officer was merely forcing him to comply. While others who looked at the video suggest the rider was impatient and merely attempting to overtake the traffic when the officer instructed him to wait, to which he refused.
Thanks, Tarai. Well, when contacted about this story, a spokesperson for the Bermuda Police Service would only say, quote, that the service is aware of the video and is currently looking into the matter. Well, coming up, all the latest weather news and much more. Stay with us.
Patrice Tucker first took an interest in bowling at the age of 14. Since then, she has excelled in the sport for more than 25 years. In 2005, she was invited to represent the island's national team. On the local front, she has captured the Bermuda Rendezvous Scratch Tournament 3 times and placed in the Bermuda Open High Women 4 times. Once again, Patrice will partner with longtime friend June Dill when they represent Bermuda in the Pan Am Games women's team bowling competition.
Unity Fest is slated to be the biggest concert of the summer with headliner Bougie Bonton, and it got a whole lot better with the local lineup being announced. So on August 17 at National Sports Center, you're going to see Bougie Bonton, Rainy Wonder, Agent Sasko, aka Assassin, and Massacre are expected to be on stage along with local artists Jesse Seymour, Kadanger, Live Wires, all backed by the Wall Street Band. And there's a whole DJ lineup for the night, including the mighty Stone Love out of Jamaica. There's also local DJs, DJ Chubb, DJ iBreeze, Juggling Jason, Black Star, Blacker Knights, Tony Cross, Ryan Saeed. And Unity Fest is hosted by Jabba and Young Chow of New York's Hot 97. There are limited tickets left, so make sure you buy them at www.unityfestivalbda.com. But if you want to buy them locally, you can get them at People's Pharmacy, Choices, and Summer Supermart in St. George's.
Welcome back. Well, with the cost of ongoing investigation into the affairs of former Premier Dr. Hewitt Brown nearing the $6 million mark, a former Attorney General has deemed the situation untenable. Former AG Michael Scott argues this is going to prove a colossal waste of taxpayers' money, which, according to Mr. Scott, could have been put to use meeting real needs in this country.
It's an unprecedented, historic expenditure and no charge yet, or whether there'll be charges at all. I mean, as a former Attorney General and as a practitioner in this country for over 38 years, this kind of lead up and playing around at the investigation stage usually spells no case, no evidence. And it is extraordinary that money could have been spent on, we need bus fleet upgrades, we need the schools prepared for the summer, we need jobs created, and it's extraordinary that the operational policing under the control of the governor, but operational policing driven by this Bermuda Police Service has found it acceptable to spend $6 million on one investigation in which there is no charge. You will recall a poll taken of the people of this country as to whether this entire exercise against Dr. Brown was politically driven. So that is a very central concern, that we should, in this country, which is supposed to be a mature democracy, be engaging in this kind of behavior of politically driven in police investigations. It hasn't even reached the point of going to the DPP to be considered whether the evidence is going to be admissible in a court of law. So that's a primary concern.
In other news, the second airport redevelopment project internship program, a partnership between ACON and the Government of Bermuda Ministry of Public Works, has now been completed. Bermudians Jamar Dill and Zico Johnstone successfully completed their 6-month internship. They are both employed with the Ministry of Public Works and interned with ACON employer partners and technical team members in Toronto. Jamar worked with Mulvey and Benani International, while Zico interned with H.H. Angus Associates. They were fully integrated into various design engineering teams with their host firms and worked on a variety of projects related to their fields of expertise. In addition, the interns participated in a series of dynamic training courses offered through ACON University. They were assigned a mentor who helped them create an individual development plan to ensure that they maximize the opportunity this program will afford. The objectives of the internship program were building leadership skills, technical skills development, expanding industry knowledge, building a professional network, and experiencing Canadian culture. Lieutenant Colonel David Birch, the Minister of Public Works, stated, quote, "The Ministry of Public Works is committed to the education and training of our young people, and this internship is a great example of that commitment. Jamar and Zico will come back to Bermuda more knowledgeable and skilled in their respective fields." Turning to weather news, sunny breaks and a few showers on tap for our Wednesday. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and hopefully you've had a great Tuesday. You can see on the big picture we still have at least a couple of showers in the vicinity here, and that'll be the case as we head into tonight, and things will really start to improve as we get through your day Wednesday, and especially heading into the later half of the week. It looks like we will have some drier windows here on the island, so something to look forward to. But for tonight and also tomorrow, we're at least covering for a few spotty showers and maybe even some thunder as well. So just keep an eye to the sky if you're doing anything outdoors, especially if you're here for vacation right now. The temperatures are pretty comfortable. We're in the 80s, and expect that humidity to start increasing as we head into the next couple of days as temperatures bounce into the mid to nearly the upper 80s as we head toward the end of the week. Current stats right now, temperatures are in the 80s, humidity right around 75%. We have winds coming in out of the southwest, 5 to 10 knots. The water temperature 83 degrees, and not too many issues in or outside of the reef. You can see waves inside of the reef running around 1 foot, I should say, so pretty calm out there. And then outside of the reef, we're looking at waves between 2 and 4 feet. There is a thunderstorm advisory. This has been issued by the Bermuda Weather Service. This continues through tonight, so that's all I always say. Keep an eye to the sky. Every year, people across the world die from lightning strikes, and we don't want to see anybody get themselves into a bad situation, something, of course, that can be prevented. So when thunder roars, you want to go indoors, and that's just a message that you always want to remember here on out. Looking at some of your tidal times, again, not too many issues out on the water. The next several hours, we'll be watching for those thunderstorms and into tomorrow. And you can see we have our high tide coming in just before 9:30 tonight. So there could be a thunderstorm in spots. Otherwise, it's a humid, muggy night, partly cloudy skies, a low of 77 degrees. And tomorrow, we also have the threat of a few thunderstorms around. But once we get beyond tomorrow here, we do have some improvements on the way. Here's a look at our futurecast as we take you through the next couple of days. High pressure starts to build on through, so you'll notice around the area of high pressure, that's where the moisture is going to be trailing. But for us, here locally, we'll just have the humidity and also fairly quiet weather. So something to look forward to, again, especially if you're here on vacation right now. No tropical development, so that's good news there. Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, partly sunny skies, a few showers in the vicinity with temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. We got some storms in store for Wednesday into New York City, Boston, even Toronto, Canada, looking stormy at times. Your extended forecast, we do keep the thunderstorm threat in the forecast for Wednesday, but then high pressure builds in, and you'll notice not a whole lot of fluctuation here in our forecast, mid to upper 80s with a good deal of sun.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
And you're watching the Tuesday edition of Bermuda Tonight. Well, a parliamentary bill designed to make the island more attractive to visiting super yachts will go a long way in making the island more competitive. That's the view of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, the BTA, whose research indicates the island was at a disadvantage because most of the island's competitors were already embracing the super yacht market. Here's the second part of our interview with the BTA's Glenn Jones.
We think this new legislation does two things. Well, actually three things primarily. It does make us more competitive with other jurisdictions, and that's very, very important. We were not able to compete with other super yacht destinations on a level playing field. We have that now. It stimulates spending in the economy, as I mentioned before, large amounts of spending per visitor than really any other sector of visitor that we have. We're particularly happy of what it does to help us meet the needs of jet setters, which is an audience that we've been trying to reach better in the National Tourism Plan. And then lastly, and maybe even more importantly, it will create more job opportunities for Bermudians. We really want to see the tourism economy grow, and while it's growing, creating more jobs for Bermudians. And we really think that this kind of initiative will do that.
The BTA conducted research on this sector in 2017. What did you fundamentally learn from them?
Well, the first thing we learned from our research is that we weren't competitive. So part of what we tried to influence is creating policies and legislation that made us more competitive. And we believe this act that's being going through Parliament now will actually do that. So we're very, very pleased about that. The other thing we figured out is that we were missing a golden opportunity. During the America's Cup, the captains and owners who were here told us that they had a fantastic time, that we were really an ideal jurisdiction for super yachts. But they were not incentivized to spend any time here because while their vessels were in Bermuda, if the owners weren't on them, those vessels could not generate revenue. This legislation will allow them to do that, while at the same time generating more government taxes through charter permits, through the percentage of revenue generated that has to come back to the government.
And that was Tarai Trott reporting. In other news, police recording yet another collision tonight. This time, a truck and a motorcycle collided in Southampton on Monday night around 10 o'clock on July 15th. Police and other first responders were dispatched to Lighthouse Road and Harborview Drive. The motorcyclist, said to be a 57-year-old Southampton man, suffered a laceration to his neck and was transported to the hospital by ambulance for treatment. He was later discharged. There were no other injuries reported. Both vehicles were damaged and the scene was processed. Inquiries continue and any witnesses are encouraged to call Constable Garwin Phillips on the main police telephone number at 295-0011. Earl Bazin will have all the latest in sports news in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace food court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carvings.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It doesn't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
If your doctor refers you for a CAT scan, think of Bermuda's leading private CT service, Brown Darrow Clinic, where we pay special attention to privacy, comfort, and parking right outside our door. And our scans are read at the Leahy Hospital, Brown Darrow Clinic, building trust one patient at a time. 297-3333. Now open evenings and weekends.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? The Phoenix Stores can help with an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medication for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix Stores to get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix Stores, for a better life.
Surface Trends has been serving Bermuda for over 25 years, supplying and installing tile and natural stone. We have a large in-stock selection of beautiful porcelain wood planking, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile. You will also find Bermuda's best in-stock selection of countertops, including natural granites, exotic quartzites, and silestone engineered quartz in all the newest colors. Our team will be happy to help you. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road or give us a call at 295-8005.
Earl Basden has tonight's Sports Roundup.
Bermuda went down in their second game of Group A of the CONCACAF Under-20 Women's Championship qualifiers against St. Lucia 2-1 in Guyana last evening. Head coach Nikita Robinson said yet again missed chances cost Bermuda.
Another tough day at the office. This one hurt more than the first one, as Guyana was definitely a better team. We possessed the game. We outplayed them all over the pitch. St. Lucia never even strung 3 passes together, but 2 defensive errors cost us the game. They had a very speedy center forward, and she capitalized on a bad back pass and 2 bad back passes. One hit the center defender in the face and dropped to her feet, and the second one, the pass was too short to make it to the goalkeeper. She just ran in behind. We had numerous chances. I mean, we had, right before they got the first goal, we had a sitter right in front of the goal. Ball came across, and we didn't put it away, back pass it.
Come this Saturday, all roads lead to Lords and St. David's for the first round of the Eastern County Cup competition that features cup holders St. David's Cricket Club and challengers Bailey's Bay. St. David's has struggled this season with various issues involving players, something that coach George Kennaner says the show will go on with the players missing or without them.
Well, I think the whole island is who might be missing, but I don't want to divulge that.
I don't want to say who might be missing, yet the coach who will be missing.
Well, you'll never know. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from playing but themselves. So whoever we are talking about here can still be picked. It's entirely up to them.
Taryn Frey, the Bayless Bay captain, takes a look at what the challengers face.
Our biggest challenge is just remaining consistent. We've been pretty consistent this season, especially against St. Davis. We haven't lost to them yet. So we're just looking to not get complacent, continue to build on our performances. I think for the last couple of seasons, our batsmen haven't really been doing that well, but this season, guys are amongst the runs. Our openers are getting us off to great starts, and our middle order is winning us games. So, our bowling's always been fantastic, and we don't really complain too much about that. Our fielding's been top notch, but for us, it's just maintaining, that killer instinct that we're here this year and not getting complacent.
Bermuda swimmers headed to Korea for the World Swimming Championships, with young Elon Daly looking forward to the challenge ahead.
I'm really excited about the meet, and I'm just hoping for best times in both the events that I'm racing.
Jesse Washington gave some insight into how he has prepared for the Worlds.
Through CCCAN, Ben and I established that I would be training during warm-up sessions instead of, just focusing on the meet and swimming fast as I usually would if I didn't have another focus meet throughout the summer. So I wasn't rested for CCCAN. I was pretty tired. We did some pretty hard sessions, but we also focused on getting a race strategy down to use in Korea. So I'm excited to get out there and implement this strategy.
Jair Mitchell and Jonah Smith competed in the Canadian Pro National Motocross Championships. Mitchell, competing in the 250cc Pro class, finished 9th overall in a 40-man gate start. Unfortunately, Smith did not finish either race in the 450cc Pro division. The 2019 Optimus World Championships in Antigua came to an end with the best results ever for Team Bermuda. Out of 65 countries at the largest Optimus World Championships ever, Bermuda is the only country with 2 top top-ranked sailors. Bermuda was led in the Gull Fleet by Christian Eben. Eben had been playing second fiddle to Sebastian Kemp, who led the Bermuda fleet until the final day. Eben finished the regatta with 145 net points in 8th place, while Kemp finished 11th with 149 net points. The Silver Fleet saw Magnus Reinstad finish 20th place and 85th overall with 255 net points, while Laura Hotman finished in 42nd place in the fleet and 106th overall. Nicole Stovall finished 5th place in the Emerald Fleet and 197th overall with 268 net points. Meanwhile, Raquel Evans sailed to victory in the 2019 International Finn World Championship Regatta in Australia. Evans won the 7-race series with 12 net points. He dominated the regatta, never finishing outside the top 4. Evans recorded 3 wins and 3 third-place finishes. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save $2 on tree-ripe juicy peaches and nectarines, $2.99 per pound. Family packed fresh ground hamburger, only $2.99 per pound. Save $1.10 on ShopRite Sharp shredded cheese, $2.99 for an 8-ounce package. Package of 4s, double rolls, Charmin Ultra Soft or strong toilet tissue, $4.99. Matchlight charcoal briquettes, $8.99 for a 3.1 pound bag. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to present the first of 3 rounds featuring the 115th Annual Eastern Counties Cup Competition. The defending champions, the St. David's Cricket Club versus Bayless Bay Cricket Club and Lords in St. David's. Join the island's leading cricket commentary team of Alan Richardson, Wendell Smith, and Dwayne Sluggo-Lebrock with live ball-by-ball coverage Saturday, July 20th, starting at 10 a.m. Brought to you by Lindo's Group of Companies, PAC Universal, Phoenix Stores, Valera's Holding Company Limited, Moongate Group, and by Butterfield.
When it's happening now, you can't beat the immediacy of radio.
Chance to hear the thoughts of acclaimed author.
No matter where you are.
I'm Darlene Livingston with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
When events are spectacular, television is by far the best media platform.
Why now, this particular topic?
For sports action, well, need we say more? Broadcast reporters put elected officials on the spot, keeping them honest and accountable to voters. And they can explain things in ways we all understand.
Climbs up to 12.5%.
Broadcast news is important. We're your eyes and ears on the ground. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. In good times and bad. Radio's your constant companion.
On the big station, Power 95.
And TV news is the news.
Based on what you're saying.
And Bermuda Broadcasting is your station.
And that's our newscast. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.